Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, honorable participants, and the loving audience, beautiful people present here from all around the globe. I, Ms. Nada Ratkovic, IIU board member, country director, IIU Croatia, the president of Research Center, welcome you all to the third International Research Storytelling Conference, IRSC 2022, the day two, which is going to be held yet today and tomorrow on the topic storytelling as research and research as storytelling. We know that the recent trends toward research storytelling is very important and it is making any research finding out what is known, what is not, and what we can develop further. So the role of storytelling is very vital, and IIU Research Center supports the existence of it in the science, research, technology, innovation, and all the studies. So our lives are filled with storytelling, and researchers by heart always know and have a special story. So learn the art of storytelling to tell the research stories. Select, develop, figure, understand, ask, remember. Select a meaningful story. Develop your story. Figure out the structure. Understand how you have changed by the end. Ask yourself if you are ready to share the story. First, let me introduce our organizer, Great and One International Internship University, a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to provide better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is metamorphosing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional cost and providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses and internships to their e-learners across the globe, with more than 1,000 plus global educators. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit Sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural backgrounds. The sky is the limit for his dedication and hard work. IIU has formed its 4 councils: Women Entrepreneurs Council, Student Development, Youth Development, and Council of the Educators. And the main objectives behind the councils is to provide support in every respect to the students, youth, women, entrepreneurs, and educators. So be the change with IIU. From Research Center, it is a unique hub establishment founded to provide research facilities by the visionary educationist Piyush Pandit. It is giving an opportunity to all, to researchers, to authors, to educators, to students, to scholars across the globe, and enhances the research opportunities, academic excellence, real-world problem solving, and knowledge creation and dissemination. The high caliber global educators team is dedicated to it. So it is a careful to study regarding a particular concern or problem using scientific methods. It is a systematic inquiry to describe. And me, Professor Nada Ratkovic, as a president of IIU Research Center, thinks if you have ever thought about how would be the world without education, research, science, innovation, technology, or any development of anything, then the IIU Research Center is the right place for you. But today we are here on the great IIU stage, and yes, storytelling. After yesterday, of day one, with an amazing professor, Dr. Huma Shah, a professor of pathology, neurological researcher, assistant professor of pathology at the International Research Institute of Diagnostic Diseases from Pakistan. We have two amazing guests who will today inspire you. You will hear how to get the interest to be a researcher, how to start to be a researcher, what are the tips and tricks to become a researcher, how can you manage your professionalism with other tasks you are doing and have a current research interest. So let me introduce my first guest today. He is Dr. Jorge Isaac Torres Manrique from Peru. He is a president of the Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights, Preeminenta Justita in Peru. And I will tell you who is also with me because he's already here with us on this great stage. He's an amazing Dr. Derry E. Dakanai from the Philippines, the director for academics, St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, Philippines. Dr. Derry is with us in IIU. He is a deputy director of the Philippines. So, welcome my great guests today. I'm really honored to have a great man, a great academicians, a great researchers, and what for me is the most important, a great human being. So, a big smile, a big clap for my great guests. What are you excited? Are my guests excited today? I discovered them. You see, great, amazing Dr. Derry Decanay from the Philippines and great Professor Jorge Torres from Peru. Big, big, big clap for you. Welcome.
Hi, Professor Nada. Good evening to you. Professor Jorge, good evening as well. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, and we are very happy here also. Our great audience. Big greetings to our great audience who is supporting us, who is here with us, who is learning, listening, and sharing the knowledge. So, Professor Jorge, let's start from you. Let's start from you. Let me little introduce our great Professor Jorge. So he is a legal consultant lawyer by the Catholic University of Santa Maria Arequipa. He has a doctorate in law and administration from Universidad Nacional Federico Velino Lima. He's a president of the Interdisciplinary School of Fundamental Rights. He is a honorary member of the Bar Associations of Monica Apurmica, author, co-author, co-director of several books and treatises on the constitutional, criminal, and administrative law. He is a co-director of the Annotated Criminal Codes of Ecuador and Colombia. Welcome, welcome, great Jorge Isaac Torres. So let's start with the first question. Please, our audience is very interested about this. What about the trip of your lifetime? Please tell us something about your trip of the lifetime.
Thank you very much, Appreciate Doctor. I am very grateful to the research center of the International Internship University and the Dr. Nada Daber Radovic and Piyash Bandit for the difference and opportunity given to me to be able to share some passage of my life. Very, very honored. Um, I was born in Arequipa, Peru. I live in Lima, although for now in Arequipa. My childhood was very beautiful. I have the best memories. I was very friendly. I am still. My parents, we were the best thing that ever happened. Very correct, loving, and dedicated to the family. They educate by example. I have the best of them. I always, I had to lot of respect for me, and I took and still take them as reference and example of life, the relationship with my siblings was I as always the best. A lot, friendly union and great sense of family. We always communicate and meet each other. The leaders not less frequently due to the health situation in the world. My house has always been a temple to the study. I am infinitely grateful to life because it's allowed to me be what I always wanted to be, a lawyer and research, which it was defines me the most. It's the like a dream come true, which day by day I try to improve and enjoy it enormously second by second. I feel immensely happy doing what I do. Happily divorced and single, I also enjoy my hobbies such as bodybuilding, athletics, swimming, sauna bath, music. I treasure an important one, dancing, singing, the life of research that it's mine can be summarizes in this easy I word, and it's called what those of who write keep silent, chronically systematic violation of fundamental rights. It's not secret uh, that who dedicate themselves or the fascinate and glorious worth of the researches, the same one that it's basically focused on writing and publishing. Either it's a hobby contributing or contributing to the science of discipline, in this case, also to law, sharing points of why our experience perpetuating themselves in time and space, among others, certainly don't have a flat or convenient what to do so. In this sense, in this shoot, we will deal with what happiness was a consequence of writing in the correspondence age, in the most intimate environment of the writer, that is his home, his affection, his family, his closest circle. And the beginning of these lines, we referred to what we consider generals in the author. I can be seeing them that for those who write, there's parallel. This is parallel reality, epic, sometimes titanic, that knows no deadlines or deadlines. They enjoy writing with Cannibace's passion and dedication for a true research reflection, digitalization of his of her contributions, and above all, their publication as incredible and descriptive sensation, a kind of professional and academic fulfillment of bliss in excess. Needless to say, if the publication are periodical, the aforementioned effect is permanent, continuous, navigating in the deeps of the old world, and divinal entails abstraction and complete attention, hours, day, and years usually go by while the author is often not even aware of it. Then there are not weekends, not holidays. There are saved from the inspirational voracity of the writer to be devoted inexcusably of the it almost by still to writing. The writer is engrossed is in the edificate dreams and endeavors whatever the elaboration of works or delivers destined to easy articles, columns, books, treasures. He cannot wait to get home to able to devote himself with open arms of this research to his intellectual production, to this quintessence. He does not even want to have dinner with his family. He would like to do in front to the faithful monitor of if he does, it only spends seconds to do so. His business requires almost absolute concentration. If you are writing and then the phone rings and you decide to answer it, most probably the inspiration will leave you ungrateful, ipso facto, immediately, since the ideas, comments, reflections, and others that we're following generationally and habitually before the faithful ringing of the phone. With we leave you ungrateful since the ideas, comments, reflections, and others that we following generously and having before the faithful reading of the phone will simply disappear and perhaps never to return. The simple applies to other types of interruptions. This will inevitably plunge to interrupt the writer into a stage of uh, deliberating and initious. But by the way, it is difficult, although not impossible, to the oval to count on the total understanding and support that the great constitutional Pedro Plana Silva had during his lifetime, when his wife declared in a report that was made to him that she waited parenting for him everything night until dawn, until he finished writing. Later on, we will prove that his should not necessarily have been so, since the mantle of injustice and irrefutable. However, the propositive capacity goes beyond this, since the writer also needs to be able to sharpen his pen, but also to produce more, much faster. In this regard, the advice that a young writer asked Nobel Prize winner Mario Vargas Llosa for his striking. However, the answer was not minor. You have to make writing your way of breathing. He told him. However, writing represents an additional high and undeniable untitled cost, nor necessary against the writer, but rather against those of his or her close family environment. Those who live right, no, those who live with the writer that do not seem to understand his passion, his mission, which he's also exercised almost religious in the hours after his daily work. Many times, the surfer almost permanently the one who writes the same, one who has become the absent begin without leaving home. That is to say, who is present, but let's say only physical. As a counterplan, there are the beings who wait. The members of the writer's family need to share values and unforgettable moments with him, but it is almost impossible. It is practically it's a lost war. The writer is engrossed. It's a almost fanatical and Spartan mission. He cannot stop the deal with to create to a stronger. The writer youngest son wants to play with him, laugh with him, hug with him, be hug.
Dr. Dari, let's give Professor Jorge a big clap. He's not breathing. He's not breathing, please. Little deep breathe. 3 times a deep breathe. You need to took a little air. Professor, great, great. Let us stop you a little. You talk about your trip of a lifetime. I hear that a man is taking care of his family. Yes, he has a lot of work, but he is the head of a family. And you have so great challenges in the life. And we hear how you are overcoming them. You already tell us a lot about you, your story, um, your work, your company, your organization, your mission, and etc. So, how are you overcoming this? How you are overcoming this work?
Okay, thank you very much. In principle,
And please, little breathe, breathe little.
to get in principle to get into law school, which it was I always wanted to be, because prior to that I studied some cycles of education, science, accounting, economics. It was a very difficult stage of not being able to find my way. Secondly, I want to be the best lawyer and jurist of history, although it is true that I have not yet achieved this point. I consider that I am well on my way to that direction. About the, the work company organization, I can start.
Yes, we want to hear about your work, your company, the organization.
Okay, I am mainly engaged in external consultancies as president to the interdisciplinary school of fundamental rights Prominente Justitia, and in legal research, writing articles, books, lecturing, organizing academic events. This is enormous gratifying for me, and a relation to what has understanding. I am reminded of its nationality and internationality, continuously systematic for everything, university, institution, the academic college, and friends. I feel that I am the best moment of my life, but that at the same time, it's only the beginning. About the mission, I can talk.
So great, so great. Yes. Okay, yes. What is the mission? Yes, mission and vision.
About the mission, you can say to reach my fulfillment in all aspects, the pinnacle of excellence, to contribute to the law and the just, democratic, and developed society, to leave a legacy.
I think,
Wonderful,
yeah, Professor.
wonderful. Great mission, great mission. So, Let's see. Let's see. What, Professor Jorge, what is your message to the public, to our great audience?
Okay.
What is your
Nothing.
message?
Okay, nothing is more important in life that embraces the realization of your dreams. From my own experience, I believe, for example, that entering a university, become a professional at a very early age, being the best student does not necessarily have a direct relationship to success, maximum developed and achieving your goals. The same applies, for example, to become a lawyer, and even more so to becoming a lawyer of an unanimous international renown. What is really important in life is to take each step with maturity, community, and passion. Obviously, the factor capitalism and gifts are a major factor, but giving all your all that day by day, minute by minute, second by second, will make a big difference. In short, success is not the product of change, of a pause, win, egolatry. Rather, it's to do with the product to the result of doing everything necessary if began to achieve it. Success then does not imply feeling success by reaching a very high level, which is impossible to hide, diminish, dissimulate. Success is a demonstrate with the concrete, irrefutable facts, so convinced that others will have no choice but to recognize you as successful. This implies giving your whole life sparing no effort, but the reward will be immensely gratifying. So we are talking about giving an exceptional meaning to your life, to embrace, to most important the dream, to become that you always wanted to be, to achieve it, your life project, while inspiring someone else. By the way, I am inspiring by those who are passionate about the way they do, who given their all, who always strives to the their best, who surprises himself day by day, who fights hard to fair dreams, who takes care its writing of this writing and his way of speaking, who observes correlation between that he says and what he does or he does. Who knows who they behave with values and respect for others? Who does it our out? Who does it out of self-commitment and not by obligation? Who is consist, transparent, reality, and affable? I mean personality, professionality, academically, and at work. Setting an example, it's not the main way to influence others. It's only the way. Nothing like giving yourself body and soul, blood and fire to the study of the research and research of law, the positions that you may occupy at the time will not give to the recognition and consideration of the academic of and your college, because this is achieved only with permanent and methodical dedication to study. That will be the greatest achievement, the contribute to law, its quintessence, its realization. In 12th century Europe, the first universities were created to teach law. And that time, people studied to become better people and not to become lawyers. We must rescue this spirit. In short, only by family in love with law can you thoroughly enjoy the process and think as lawyers. I remember my father always say that my love was the university for the rest of my life. Finally, the values and principles that they know how to observe will save as supports legitimacy and unity. Finally, it's the most important thing in life. It's to be happy, personal, academic, professional work, full time. Is definitely a way to become happy. You want to achieve happiness, success, then embrace excellence and exceptional. It's everything you do. You want to be achieved the unattainable, the impossible, then to the unattainable achieve it.
Wow, thank you very much, Professor Jorge, for those inspiring message to our viewers. I'd like to ask Professor Jorge, how long have you been a researcher?
20 years, 20 years about.
Oh, 20 years. Um, 20 years, yeah. And are you teaching in the graduate school, Professor Jorge?
Uh, I know in this moment.
He's a lawyer. He's a
Ah, a
lawyer.
lawyer.
Listen. He's taking care about the criminal,
Oh,
So
I must get
corruption today, there's
I
so
must get
many problems. You know, in education also we have corruption,
yeah.
criminal, and all these things. Our great Jorge is taking care about that. And yes, he is doing that, and he is also a great researcher. So, Dr. Jorge, you gave a great message to the public. You have a great story. You, as we know, we understand you are inspired by your parents, your father. So the son continued the business of the father, being a lawyer. That is so great. That is so great. I want a big clap for our great Dr. Jorge, because he is very active. He's very active. Uh, his voice is always here. He's working a lot also for the humanitarian. He's a social activist. So I can say he's keeping Brazil, Peru, Argentina, all that countries together. And really happy to know him, because today, and he was already sharing in IIU, and for a few days, I think you have a honorary doctorate ceremony. So many things you are doing. So people today are multidisciplinary. If we are not multidisciplinary, we cannot exist on this world. That is that. Thank you, great Jorge. A big clap, and I'm sure that our audience, our participants, are very satisfied with your story today. So keep doing a great work. Keep doing a great work. Now, from Peru, we are going to Philippines. We are going to the Philippines, and we have an amazing Dr. Derry E. Decanai. He is, what to say, he is a director of the academics in St. Patrick Christian School. He's here in IIU. He's very active. He is a honorary deputy director of the Philippines, country director. He has an amazing curriculum. He's a curriculum developer, researcher, United Nations Sustainable Development Advocate, international speaker, vice president from the academics, a great background. If you are following him, he every day you can see that Dr. Dari is doing something, a conference, a storytelling session. He's participating in so many projects. Yes, and he has a rich academic background. So I will not talk a lot about you, Dr. Derry, because today you are here to inspire and to motivate our audience. So I say only few words about you. Please, can you introduce yourself alone?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Professor Nada, and to the International Internship University for this invitation. Yeah, my name is Dr. Dari Idakanay. My friends call me Dari for short. I work at, was mentioned at St. Patrick's School of Quezon City as a director for academics. I take charge of the teachers, our principals, uh, oversee also students and also the international affairs of the school. At the same time, I also work as a graduate school professor at Manuel L. Quezon University, wherein I teach those students who are taking up their masters and their PhD in different degree programs. Well, I am an animal lover. I'm a dog lover, and yeah, my advocacy is, of course, the SDGs. Go SDGs, and yeah,
I think all 17 SDGs.
yes, all 17 SDGs. And yeah, I'm a friendly person. I'd like to collaborate with people, with educators, with teachers, and with students. I also love doing research. I always allot the time within a week to do research because that's very important for every educator, that you need to be able to add to the new body of knowledge. I understand that some teachers really are just into teaching, but are also educators like me who are also teaching at the same time a researcher. So in a week, I allot time for me to do research because that's very important. That's the only way for, you know, educators like us to add to the new body of knowledge, especially in a complex world that we have. We need to have new researchers. We need to have many new things to add to help out people in the different areas, be it in education, be it in sciences, and many others. We need to do that. So yeah, that's me, Dari.
Wow, that's you. A big, big clap because our Dr. Derry is really amazing. He's really amazing. Dr. Derry, so you are a school administrator teacher. How long have you been a school administrator and teacher? And how did get involved in the schools? Why in the school? Why are you working in a school?
Yeah, I'm actually a physical therapist. I should be into the field of medicine, but eventually
Wow,
my
that we
you know
need also.
by I ended up becoming a teacher and yeah, an administrator. It all started when yeah, when I took up my in the Philippines. You have, before you become a teacher, if you're not an education graduate, you have to take up education units. After the education units, you can now take your master's and your PhD. So what I did was to take my education units at De La Salle University, Manila. And from that day onwards, it seems that, yeah, I think teaching is really for me. I did enjoy it because when I was a little kid, I remember me and my friends used to mimic a teacher. My friend will act out as a teacher. I'll act out as a student, and maybe it triggered later on when I was
Mhm.
taking up education units, and then from there, it started everything. No, I was given a chance to teach first in one of the oldest schools in Manila. It's called Santa Isabel College. It was being run by religious nuns. So they gave me opportunity to teach there, college students. It was difficult though because my background was not really education. And from that day onwards, I continued. I finished my master's degree in I have two master's degree, one in theology and the other one is educational leadership management. So I ended up
Right.
teaching in that school, and later on, other schools invited me to teach as part-time teacher, and eventually later on, it led me to one school. It's called De La Salle College of Saint Benilde, wherein I became a full-time teacher, and there I taught for almost 15 years. But now it's like almost 25 years that I've been teaching or being a teacher. And from there, when I was teaching, I started to finish my master's. And then when I finished both, I told myself, why not go further? Pushing my
Yes, and I'm
limits.
sure, that you have already in your on your mind a third, a gay also. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, I know that. I know that because you see how Dr. Derry starts. Yesterday, our great professor, Dr. Humash Shak, said a stone. Listen. Each one has an amazing song, and that is why they are so great. That is why they are doing so great each one day. And we are really proud on you, Dr. Daddy, really proud on you. And I'm sure your school, your St. Patrick School, your principal is very proud and all your colleagues on you because so many times I have you, your students, your colleagues, your principals as our guests, and I am also a global advisor at your school. So that's what you are doing. I can say that the dedication and for you world, there are no words to express and to describe what you are doing. That can do only an educator and, as we said, a researcher by the love. So great, so great. So you are very active in social media and you are doing research presentations abroad. Can you share to us this experience? What is motivating you? What is motivating you to do that?
Yeah, it all started when I told myself, how should I do this one? What I did first is to try to present my paper in the Philippines, in the local setup. No, I tried to present my papers in the local conferences here in the Philippines, and later on, I moved to another level of presenting it, trying to present it in an international conferences, and it took a while, no, because sometimes when you submit papers in a conference, sometimes your paper will not be accepted because they will be reviewing it. So I don't mind
Yes.
whether they accept or reject it, but I try my best. And it's one step at a time. And I remember my first research presentation was in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, wherein I was really having goosebumps when I presented it. Um, it takes courage, no? Um, the questions that will be asked by the audience would not be like asking you the statistical tools that you have used in your research. No, they're not going to ask that. More of the questions of the contribution of your research to education or to generally to the community, and it feels so good. And after one presentation, I tried again in other universities, and luckily I got accepted in those presentations. But mind you, it really takes hard work, because when you present a paper abroad, you don't just submit a paper. Of course, you have to do your research. Okay, you have to do
Yes.
your research. Your research 101. It's kind of difficult when you present abroad, because of course there is a time frame for you to be able to submit a paper. But eventually, when you're submitting papers already, it would really later on be like be in your system already. So yeah, that was it in terms of my
So
presentation. But
you
it was so
have, I'm
difficult.
sure you have so many tips and tricks, I'm sure. So many.
Yeah, one is um you have to ask your colleagues. You have to look around in your school. Uh, Normally, research, of course, is complex, it's difficult. But the basic ones, like doing an action research, you can just look around in your classroom. Look around in your
Yes.
classroom, see your students, look at your school, and there you will be able to find, things that you may be able to do as part of doing your research. And later on, you can level up. No, when you now become an administrator, from the classroom setup, you go into a bigger research in conducting a research for the school. And now when you have the courage now from the school, you go up to the community.
Yes, Dr. Derry, and you really have a courage. You know why you have a courage? Because you have a knowledge. You have a knowledge, so you can have a courage, and you have, as you say, great tips, great tricks for doing that for your students. So, you have leveled up your international engagement for your school, for St. Patrick's School of Quezon City, Philippines. How did you do it, and for what reason do you do it? Why
Yeah,
do you
it
do
was
that?
it
Because
was
there are so many educators who are only working for themselves. They don't care
yes, right.
about the image of the school, of the college, university. They are working for themselves. But you, every day, I know that Dr. Derry is posting so many posts every day. What is happening in St. Patrick's School, and what is going on? Everything.
Yeah, when the pandemic came, it hit many schools badly. But one thing that I remember during the start of the pandemic is for everyone to level up, because I know that it will be difficult for our school. We're just a small school in the Philippines. There are many big schools around the world. But one thing I told my teachers during that time, and even the administrators, is for us to level up. Meaning, we're not alone. We have to collaborate. But sometimes collaborating is difficult, especially within your community. No? Some schools will not bother collaborate with you, because they will simply say, "Who are you? You're just a small school." But when you start a little, when you meet new people, like the International Internship University, which gave me an opportunity to meet many brilliant and fascinating and well knowledge and very good educators. It gave me the opportunity to talk to them, meet with them, and later on, I opened my school for them and learn from them. When you do collaborations, you don't only think of yourself, because number one, we're not being paid here. When we do, let's say, seminars or conferences, this is all for the love of education. And rarely can you see that in an educator, because some educators would really, you have to pay them. But for the love of education, I think I remember we have to do this one. We have to level up. We have to have new competencies. No, if you're not going to do this one, we are going to be left behind, which happened in the Philippines. Many schools closed in our area because they did not innovate. They were not creative. So for us, we did innovation. We did, a lot of creativity, new things. And in the beginning, many of the community, even the parents, were scratching in their head and say, "What is this director doing?" But I didn't mind because I continued, and I told myself and the team that yeah, no matter what they say, we will do this, and I know that the result of this one will be, will benefit everyone. And imagine, Professor Nada, yeah, we did have lost a few students, but not that many students. Many
Yeah.
students still stayed in the school because they were given so many opportunities. No, I was telling my community, I will give you those opportunities. Whether you're not so good student, you are a varsity player, you will be given a chance to collaborate. And even teachers, you know what, Professor Nada, even some teachers, no, some of them, of course, doesn't like to do collaboration because it takes much of their time. But I was
Yes.
telling them this is the only way for you to level up. If you're not going to stay in this, you're not going to stay in the school forever. But when you go out in the school, you'll be able to use those competencies. And true enough, like
Yes.
majority of our teachers now, they're able to present papers, they're able to communicate, and it boosts their self-esteem. And when teachers' self-esteem are boosted, the students benefit. And because of that, I'm very proud to say that we have increased, students. And I was telling the team, I think two important strategies for school is that number one, when you do collaborations and you're active in social media, there is in marketing strategy, they have the 4 Ps. And there was
Yeah.
a research conducted that um, promotion, the promotion and the place is very important. When you promote your schools and like doing collaborations, it will benefit. And true enough, we are now we're harvesting the so-called things that we did for our collaboration. And I thank the International Internship University for this opportunity, which I'm telling everyone, take this opportunity for you to be able to learn, because it will not only benefit your school, but it will
Yeah.
benefit you as an educator.
Great. But Dr. Derry, you are doing that because I think you are a great leader. So, how? Tell us. You are a teacher, you are a professor, you are an administrator. So, I am saying you are a great leader. What is your leadership styles? Who trained you? And how does your teacher see you there if you are a leader?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, Professor Nada. Well, my leadership style, I'm more of a bureaucratic leader. I would oftentimes consult our school president together with the principals because we have this council meeting. And as much as I'd like to be able to push what I want in school, I still need the opinions of the president and the principals, and of course the community. It's tough though, in a bureaucratic system, because sometimes you get to feel bad if you don't like, if you're pushing something. But there's wisdom behind the bureaucratic style because it balances, no? It
Yep.
balances the way you do things. And for me, that's very important, as an educator. You have to balance things. Who trained me? Three things, I came from different schools and universities. Number one, my background in my basic education in the grade school and junior high school is that I came from a Don Bosco school being run by the Salesian priest. Don Bosco is a very well-known saint in Italy. Don Bosco is a saint who is very good in terms of being one with students. He plays with the students. He makes sure that every lunch break he goes out with them, talks to them, and I was able to probably adopt, things that this saint was able to have done. The second is my training with De La Salle schools. No, they're very good in terms of management, how to handle people, how to write, how to conduct conferences, how to be, how to go out and be able to explore the world. And the third one is from the Jesuits. The Jesuits. I learned they have this term called magis, meaning if you get a grade of, let's say, 95 or 99, that's not excellent yet. You can only be an excellent teacher, educator, administrator if
Oh.
from day one that you start until the day that you retire, you get a grade of consistent, let's say 95 or 99. So it's a continuous, not really a struggle, but a journey for a teacher to become an excellent educator or teacher. So that inspired me. And even if I get a 95, that's not good enough. So you have to really excel, Jesuit universities. There are a lot of researchers. So I'm also inspired with them. I don't know. Yeah, they do a lot of researches. And the other one is cura personalis. I've learned this term from the Jesuits. They call it the cura personalis, meaning you have to be one with your students. It's like learner-centeredness. You have to understand where people are coming from so that you'll be able to be with them and you can journey with them later on. And how does a teacher see me? Some of the teachers see me sometimes as like, how should I say this one? A dreamer or a person who, if Dr. Dari wants something, he'll be able to get it. No? Sometimes some teachers are a bit, how should I say this one? Fearful, because when I say that you need this one, some teachers would not be able to understand it. Yeah, those are some of the things that teachers see me. I think Professor Nada would be going back. There's Professor Nada again.
Professor Nada is here. I lost my
Yes.
connection. I
No
don't
worries.
know. Today I see a few times I already lost my connection. I apologize. But Dr. Dari, I hear that if Dr. Dari is a dreamer and if he wants to achieve anything on this world, he will achieve that because Dr. Dari is a truly educator, a fighter. And yes, that is what is pushing him to be an amazing leader, trainer, and all. And all. Dr. Derry, I have an amazing question for you now. So let's hear the answer. If you are given a chance to speak in a United Nations Assembly in New York
Wow.
City on
Wow.
education, what will you say, Dr. Dari?
Wow.
United Nations, yes.
So I will imagine that I am in the platform now speaking to the leaders of different countries. Well, what I would have to say is that the system of education is rooted in ageless wisdom. Wisdom is very important, and education must be able to devise a system, a program, a scheme that enables young people to learn about living and at the same time adopt to current society, especially now in the post-pandemic education system. And the programs and even the policies should be based on core principles. We go back to the basics that are derived from the ageless wisdom that we had from great persons in our very own countries. And a few examples of these principles that can be translated into our system now would be the following. Number one is that fear should not be used as a tool for motivating children to behave a certain way. Let's not put fear on children. If you don't do this, this will happen to you. That should not be. We are now in the modern world. Second, we should have a loving and caring environment generally produces an attitude and feelings in students that enhances growth, cooperation, happiness, and even well-being. Teachers and administrators must be capable of providing such environment. And children need to learn self-discipline and self-mastery today, which I think have, in the pandemic, we have the learning loss, remember? And now it's the learning recovery. And learning must foster intelligence rather than mere accumulation of information. That's very important. And students must be motivated by excellence rather than competition. I would repeat on that. Students must be motivated by excellence rather than competition. Let's not compete. We're not here to compete, especially who's the best schools. I remember the Finland model of education, which is being adopted
Yes.
worldwide.
I agree, Dr. Derry, with you. Yes.
And another one is being a good example is one of the most powerful tools in education today. We have to be role models, We have to be role models as educators, as teachers to our students, and that's the only way. And we come to we need to come together as one community to help out, in the learning recovery of our students today. And with that, I thank the world for listening today. I think Professor Nada will
Great.
There
A
you are
big,
again,
big
Professor
applause
Nada.
clap for Dr. Derry. We will really like to see you in the United Nations. Yes. Jorge, Dr. Jorge, what you say? Our great Dr. Derry in the United Nations, huh?
Successful, I can say,
I think that
very
you
honored
hear
to
us.
know the Dr. Dari. It's important history. Congratulations.
Yes, 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 yes. But listen,
Yes, we're listening, Professor Nada. Professor Jorge, yeah, we need people like you, lawyers for education. I would oftentimes say to my students in the graduate school, if you should be able to understand the legal, the legal principles or matters on education, especially for the principles. It's very important. Hi,
Dr.
Dr.
Dari,
Nada.
Dr.
Yes.
Dari, listen, please. I have a question for you. I didn't finish it. On a lighter note, what makes you happy and what inspire you? What inspire you?
Oh, okay. What makes me happy? Um, Eating. you know.
Eating.
Yeah. Like I oftentimes like to eat. Ice cream.
Oh,
My favorite thing is drinking coffee. That makes me happy.
oh,
Drinking
me
coffee.
too. Me too.
Coffee and a slice of blueberry cheesecake makes me happy. And what makes me
Wow.
inspire is that every time that you get to see successful people, it makes me inspired to not really follow them, but to be able to do something something better for my community. So
Wow.
yeah, very good example is, I have to be honest, I got inspired with the IIU International Internship University, with the great speakers, professors, and the board of IIU. That inspired me to be able to really become who I am today.
Dr. Dari, let's see, what do you think about the value of the money? So, If you are to be given $1 million and spend it for a week, what will you do with it? What will you do with it? With $1 million?
Wow, I have to be honest,
A
no? If
million
I was
dollar,
given
yes.
$1 million, of course, a portion of it, probably 10% should be in charity. Don't forget
Oh.
that, no? A portion of it should be given to charity, and a portion of it should also be given to, let's say, educators like us, those who are proponents and researchers. A portion should be given, and of course, I'd like to travel also, with $1 million and be able to see Professor Jorge, be able to see Professor Nada, and all
Yes.
of the great educators in the different parts of the world. And the rest, maybe be able to put it, maybe I have to be honest, put a portion in the school that I'm working, no,
Yeah.
for us to be able to put up probably a creative, innovative hub that would really be beneficial for many of the students, not only in St. Patrick's School, but the rest of the world. And yeah, that's tough,
Great.
huh?
Great. So you say that you will give to your school also. So tell us the secret of your pedagogical methods, because we are really curious about that.
Okay, I would always go with learner centeredness. LEARN, 5 letters, so
Yes.
as everyone may be able to remember. And that is the word learn. LEARN. L means we have to learn continuously. And that's why, we have to study, we have to read, we have to go to different places to learn. We have to learn continuously. Letter E, we have to evaluate our learning experiences, meaning assessment, evaluation is very important. A, we have to advance synergy. We have to do collaboration. That's the only way for us to be relevant. LEAR, we have to respect diversity, meaning we have to respect each other as educators. We have to respect our learners. Their individuality is very important. And the letter N from the word learn, LEARN, is nurtures relationship. We belong to one community, and we have to be able to nurture our relationship to be able to work together as one community.
Wow. Wow. Dr. Jorge, big clap for our Dr. Dari. He is amazing. See, no question, we need to try to find something from him. Amazing, amazing, Dr. Dari. Dr. Dari, we are all childs always. We want to. I adore Little Prince, and I want
Oh,
to ask you if you are to share your favorite story, cartoon, or some series that you like most. What is it and why? Why a cartoon, like example?
wow. My favorite cartoon series during my time, so you'll be able to know my age, is the time of the Transformers. That's my favorite. Maybe now who I am now, maybe because speaks about the cartoons that I love most, and that's the Transformers. Those aliens, and later on turned out to be robots. No, they're able to transform from cars to like a human robots talking to humans. It inspired me to become creative, to become innovative. And until now, I still have those Transformers. I remember I donated one toy. It's called Optimus Prime. I gave it to St. Patrick's School, for them to be inspired that with such robot, you can do so many things, to help out other people and to be innovative, to become creative.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite, Transformers.
Mm.
Are you still there, Professor
Great,
Nada?
great. I like it. Great, amazing, amazing, Dr. Dari. Uh, yes, yes, yes. Do you see me? But the internet is really unstable, so I am fighting against the network. You see, holidays in Europe, and everyone is now, and it is very crowded. So that is a really problem with the network these days, really. But I'm not finished yet. So,
Oh,
your country, the Philippines, is known to be a beauty pageant fanatic. Let's
wow.
say you are one of the contestants in a popular pageant contest like the Miss Universe, and I
Wow.
get to ask you this question. If you are given a chance to travel back in time to talk to a popular person like the president of your country, what will you tell him? What will you tell to the president of your country?
Wow. Tough. Yeah. Very interesting question, because maybe, there's
Right.
one thing that I'd like to tell, for example, the president of my country or any other president of the world, is for them to prepare. No, prepare for an upcoming, you know, outbreak. Because I'm not going to tell them what that outbreak will be. I'll just tell them that, please, I beg of you, I beg of you to prepare for the upcoming outbreak, because this will really, define us as human beings, and we will see how human beings in this outbreak, I will tell them, please prepare, not only, physically, emotionally as well, because this pandemic or this outbreak would really make or break humanity. That's all. And I hope that president or that well-known person would listen to like a Dr. Dari Dakanay.
Yes, great, great. I adore the answer. Dr. Derry, what to say? No question today. But we are still not finished yet. We will continue. We will continue because there are so many things that we want to know about you, because you are really inspiration. You are inspiration, not in Philippines and worldwide. Worldwide. Dr. Jorge, first time see you. This is his first time with Dr. Dari, listening him, seeing him, and Dr. Dari is
Oh, that's yeah. It's the holiday, Professor Jorge. Oh,
and
you're back
Nada
again.
is coming. Yes, yes, because I have a hotspot and I put then the hotspot, but this is not the main solution. But I want to ask the last question, our great Dr. Derry for today. So, Dr. Derry, any last message you would want to share to everyone here today on this great IIU platform?
Okay, I think I have said a lot of things, but yeah, to
Only one
probably
shortly,
yeah,
shortly.
yeah. I think leaders like us or even teachers in the time of the post-pandemic must be optimistic. Now, although when you talk about people who are optimistic, people would have a glass half full outlook on life, but they have more than the ability to view life through, different colored lenses. And we have to always be positive and hopeful of the future. Let's never give up. Let's never give up on our peers, especially our students, our parents. Let's all be optimistic and hopeful for a better future for all of us.
I'm really very happy today. I'm really what to say, no words to express my gratitude to you both today, to great Dr. Jorge and to you, Dr. Derry, my great guests, my great friends today, enriching us with amazing story. And yes, both have a different story, different and very, very interesting story. So, I always choose amazing, amazing people, amazing guests, educators, and even Dr. Jorge is not in education involved like me and Dr. Derry. He is also in this field because he is a lawyer. He is doing the most, I can say, the hardest part with the law because we educators are never satisfied with the regulations in the educational system. Dr. Derry, am I right?
Yes, Professor
Yes.
Nada,
Yes,
definitely.
that is very important. So I want to thank you both from the bottom of my heart. I want to thanks to great
Mhm.
audience. Great audience. My apologize for network problems. I will put a forms when I finish the session. So be little patient because I have problems with network, but I will put the forms. Heartiest thanks. First, I want to thanks to our great founder, Sir Piyush Pandit, for giving us this opportunity to be here on the amazing IIU stage, sharing the knowledge worldwide, having an amazing educators with us every day. So tomorrow we are continuing with the third day. Tomorrow, be with us. We have also two an amazing guests. You will see tomorrow, like today, like yesterday. And what is my message? Grow and stay with us on the IIU. Get the knowledge because today you cannot do nothing without the knowledge. And yes, without skills. You see, Dr. Derry is an expert. Dr. Derry is an expert, so leader, educator. You listen how many schools he finished, how many universities, doctorates, and etc. So with us, always an amazing. I always have a feeling to find that kind of person, that amazing person. Today, Peru and Philippines. Tomorrow, again, exotic countries. So be with us, be patient, and join us. Big clap for our great Dr. Derry and Dr. Jorge. Till tomorrow, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
IAU, Professor Nada.
Thank you, President. Thank you, doctors.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.